In this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways that you can deal with rejection from freelance clients. Hey guys, my name is Scott and I make videos like this one on freelancing tips as well as tutorials on Premiere Pro and Photoshop, so please do consider hitting the subscribe button and hitting the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of those. Okay, let's get into how we can deal with client rejections. So one of the best things about being a freelancer is that we get to choose when and where we work, and we get to set our own hours and pick who we get to work with. But sometimes potential clients don't always want to work with us. And in this video, I want to go over 5 common rejections from clients and how to deal with those as a freelancer. Rejection number 1, sorry, but you're just not the right fit. In this case, when a client says something like you're not the right fit, or we're looking for someone or something different, that usually translates to you, the freelancer, having creative differences over the project. For example, a few years back, I was hired to do a video editing project for a client who wanted to create a fast-paced, high-energy promotional video for his business. Basically, it was something almost like a music video. Now, I've never edited anything like that before, as my video editing background is mainly in the educational field. This project was actually a test project to see if I would be the right fit for the job going forward, and on top of that, he hired another editor who was also editing the same project at the same time, and we were competing for the same long-term job. What ended up happening was I lost out on the job because I wasn't the right fit. The other editor had far more experience editing projects like that than I did, and he was the better choice. Now, I could have been upset and really mad, but what I learned is that I needed to broaden out my skill sets as a video editor if I wanted to get different types of jobs. I needed to get out of my comfort zone and try to edit different projects so that I can become more versatile and ultimately more valuable as a video editor. Which brings me to my next rejection. Number 2, we're looking for someone more experienced. We've all got to start somewhere, and nothing is harder than trying to land that first gig with a client because most clients don't want to take a chance on someone where this is their first professional job. When I was first learning how to edit videos in college, I gave myself projects to work on all the time as a way to sharpen my skills. I would shoot videos with friends just so I could edit them. I would re-edit movie trailers. I even created an animated short so that I can work on editing different types of content. I did all of these things so that not only could I practice and get better at video editing, but I also could have potential projects that I could show clients in my portfolio. So when you're first starting out, be your own client and practice building and creating things that you can potentially show someone when you're ready. Rejection number 3, you're just out of our budget. I think this rejection might be the one that freelancers fear the most. No one likes being told that they're too expensive, and the knee-jerk reaction would be to immediately try to negotiate down to a lower price, or worse, drop your rates to rock-bottom prices. This is a subject that I could probably do a whole video on by itself, but basically you've got to know your own self-worth. When people are looking for a new computer or a new phone, most people don't just automatically buy the absolute cheapest option. The cheapest option is cheap for a reason because it's usually poorly made. Most people want something that meets somewhere in the middle of affordability and quality. And that's how you need to think of yourself and your services. You want to sell yourself as a craftsman or craftswoman who does quality work. Remember, cheap prices attract cheap clients, and in my experience, cheap clients are usually the most difficult to work with because they expect a lot for very little in return. Rejection number 4, the client ghosts you or you get no response at all. This rejection is probably the biggest blow to any freelancer's confidence. You spend a lot of time crafting a pitch or a proposal and then you submit it and then nothing. You never hear back from the client, no response at all, and worse, there's no feedback for you at all to try and improve upon for the next time. In my experience, when something like this happens, it's typically due to communication issues or possibly the lack of communication. Unfortunately, freelancing and in the job market in general is super competitive, and clients only have so much time to read everyone's resume or proposals, let alone try to respond to each and every single one. This is where, as freelancers, we have to be really clear and concise in our proposals for them to be extremely effective. I recently made a video on how to write proposals for Upwork, so I'm not going to deep dive too much into proposals here, but essentially what I covered was when communicating with clients, we have to make them the hero of the story. Our whole pitch as freelancers must be tailored to that particular client's project and their needs, and we have to make them the sole focus of the proposal. A lot of the time, We get wrapped up in our own story and we tend to write about ourselves and how much our experience and education we have, when really all a client wants to hear is, how can you help me? Remember, a confused mind says no. If your proposal doesn't make sense to them or just doesn't answer that simple question of, how can you help me? Well, then you may never hear back from clients at all. Rejection number 5. We're looking for someone in a different time zone or location. This is probably the one rejection that us as freelancers have the least control over. If a client is looking for someone in a specific time zone or place, there's not much we can do about that if we're not there. However, there is an old saying to never burn bridges, because you never know, at some point in the future, that same client could remember you and may need your services. So it's in our best interest as freelancers to thank that client for the potential opportunity and let them know that we can help them in any other time in the future. Some things are out of our control as freelancers. We can't control what clients may want or what other freelancers are doing, so try not to get caught up in worrying about what other freelancers are charging, or if they're better than you, or are you good enough. There's an old saying in professional American football that your best ability is availability. It doesn't matter that you may not be the best at what you do, or that there's other people more talented than you. You can't control that, but what you can control is that when the opportunity comes, you are ready and willing to do the best that you can do. Clients would much rather work with someone who is reliable, professional, and easy to work with than someone who might be more skilled than you, but who is also super flaky and unreliable. So those are the 5 ways that you can deal with rejection from clients. What other rejections have you gotten from clients? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see if I can make a video covering that. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and share this with anyone else who might also like it. For more information on freelancing tips, Premiere Pro, and Photoshop, head on over to my website at scottedwardfowler.com. Also, check out the other tutorial videos which I've posted on the right side of the screen here. Alright, that's it for me guys. See you in the next video.